Hello everyone and welcome to AdWords Hangouts on Air. I'm your host Paratosh Ved and today we'll be talking about AdWords Search Exam Preparation course. So for those of you who are ready to give the exam, here's a quick tutorial to help you guys with it. Here's a table of contents for today. The presentation is split into 4 parts. The first one will be about search advertising overview. Then we'll shift over and talk about search ad campaign creation, followed by showing your ads and determining bids for them, and finally measuring your performance and optimizing on that. All right, so let's get started with step 1, which is a small overview of search advertising. Now, first and foremost, let's look at the current trends. Every day, there are 100 billion searches happening on Google. In fact, there are many searches happening right now. Now, the way people searching on Google has changed is because earlier, people were only looking for information. Now they're looking for stuff like want to know. So basically, if there's something which they want to know about, then they'll go to Google search. If people decide to go take a vacation or go for a family outing, they again go on Google search. If they have time to kill and they're figuring out what to do, that happens. People get the answer for that in Google search. And finally, if people are willing to buy something, again, Google search is the answer. Some more data points for us to look at. Out of every 5 people, there are 4 consumers who want ads customized for them. Half of the people who conduct a local search on their phone actually end up visiting the store physically. Around 60% of the mobile users say that they find the ads very, very useful. And the search ads drive an average of around 6.6 percentage points on top of mind awareness. That's a major chunk of traffic. And when asked to recall up to 5 brands, unaided brand awareness increased on average by 9.2 percentage points. So just a few data points here to give you an understanding of how Google search works and what exactly the impact is caused as a result of it. Moving forward, let's look at the campaign creation. Now, there are 4 types of campaigns which can be created in your AdWords account. One is search network only. Basically, if you want people to see your ads only on Google search when they're proactively looking for you, that's where your search network campaign comes into the picture. Secondly is display network only. Basically, display network only is comprised of millions of Google search partner websites, including YouTube and other search partners. So if you think it makes sense to share ads on other websites while people are browsing through the internet, display network platform is the way to go. Another platform is search network with display select. If your approach towards Google AdWords advertising is to both show ads to people proactively searching for you, and as well as create a little bit of brand awareness, that's where an SNDS or a search network with display select campaign will come in. Finally, we have your video campaigns as well. If you believe in telling your story in the form of a small video, and if you think people will make more understanding about your business via that, that's where a video campaign comes in. The general structure of how an AdWords account looks like. So let's say, for instance, that you are an online electronics store. So you have an AdWords account at the top, inside which you have your campaigns, which has your ad groups. Now, one very frequently asked question is, why exactly is there a concept of a campaign, and why exactly is there a concept of an ad group? Now, at the campaign level, you decide your daily budget, and you decide the location which you want to target. So let's say that this online store, which we're looking at right now, is targeting 2 areas. Let's say they're targeting New York and they're targeting Chicago. So one campaign will be targeting New York, one will be targeting Chicago. Now let's say the campaign targeting New York is competing with a lot of advertisers. And I feel that maybe a budget of around $100 a day is good enough. So at the moment, you have decided the location for that campaign and the daily budget. Campaign number B, which is targeting Chicago, does not have much competition to compete with, and you decide that a budget of $50 a day is also good enough. So you have 2 campaigns created with a daily budget and the location you want to target. Inside these campaigns are your ad groups. Now, ad groups are ideally specific to a vertical that you have. If you're selling flat screen TVs, you'll have one ad group for them. If you're selling plasma TVs, one ad group we'll have for them. The reason why we have ad groups is because every ad in an ad group can be triggered by any keyword. So if let's say, in instance, we had just the one ad group here, it could have been possible that people search for plasma TVs and they end up seeing an ad for flat screen TVs, which might not be the most relevant ad for them to see. So always remember that as many business verticals you can split your business model into, have that many number of ad groups in your AdWords account. Now let's looking at choosing an ad format. So you can tell your story in as many ways as possible. We have text ads, basically showing your ads in Google search in the form of text. We have ad extensions. You would have seen along with Google AdWords ad, there are certain certain links to pages on your website. Sometimes your phone number shows up along with your ad, and including other things, which are your ad extensions. Sometimes you can show ads in the form of images as well. Then you have your app promotion ads. Basically, you would have noticed when you're scrolling through a mobile device that along with the search query on Google, you also see a link to download an app on your cell phone or on your tablet. Then we have your product listing ads, which basically are your Google shopping ads. We have call-only ads, which again allow people to have their phone number in the ad text. And finally, we have dynamic search ads also. Basically, you tell the system that this is your website and these are the pages you want the system to target, and system will automatically find your ads for you. All right, now let's look at your text and your mobile ads. So as far as the text ads are concerned, it has three components to it. One is the headline, which is the very first thing people see. So try to make your headline as effective as possible and try to ensure that your headline answers the question which the user asked for on Google. Then we have your display URL. This is the URL which people see when they see your ad in Google search. And then is a small description. So basically, any story which you would like to put about your ads or anything which you would like to do to describe your product or the service that you're selling, that will come in your description. Now, as far as mobile browser ads are concerned, you can show text ads on a mobile device. You can show image ads on a mobile device if people are searching through various search partner websites. You can also show app promotion ads. So an example, let's say you are searching for a particular product. Let's say you're planning to buy grocery, and you do a Google search with the words grocery stores in my area. You might just end up seeing an ad for selling groceries in your area. And finally, we have the HTML5 ads as well, which are these rich media ads, which you can show on a mobile device. Another platform to show your ads are the mobile apps. So I'm sure all of us would be using the Google Play Store and the iOS Play Store to download a couple of apps. Now, inside these apps also, a couple of ad formats are supported. You can show your text ads over there. We can have image ads. Inside the apps, we can have certain app promotion ads. We can even have certain image app promotion ads. Basically, the image is distributed, shown along in the form of an image. We have video app promotion ads. Basically, there can be a link to a short video along with the ads. And finally, we have TrueView for app promotion ads also. Sometimes you might be searching on YouTube, and along with that, you might see a link for an ad on the right-hand side promoting an application. So if you go ahead and click on that, that's when you can download the app from there. And on that note, we have a question here, and it's from Mr. Bharat. Thank you, Bharat, for the question. It says, I noticed for one of my account, search network with display select campaign type is not shown. Is that an update? Bharat, search network with display select campaigns ideally should show for all your AdWords accounts. Try clearing your cache and cookies once, and if you're able to see it. If 1% you're not, feel free to give us a call on our support helpline, and we'll be happy to take it from there. All right. Now let's talking further about apps. Let's talk about promoting mobile apps. So a couple of tips and pointers for you here. As far as mobile apps are concerned, mobile app campaigns are concerned, we have made it very simple for you guys. We just need a small creative text and some app details from you. And you can also provide an optional YouTube link, which shows people your app or tells a story about your app. We can drive downloads of your mobile app through YouTube, display network, and through Google search. And you can show ads in the form of your standard text ads, image ads, and as well as your video ads. Moving further to increasing mobile app engagement. Now let's take a moment here and try to understand the difference between mobile app install campaigns and mobile app engagement campaigns. So let's say that that you're going to Google and you're doing a search for the word saying book a hotel online. Now you might see an app for a particular business, or you might see an app for that particular hotel, which will allow you to book a reservation there. Now that is a mobile app install campaign. The app is not downloaded yet, and it makes you download the app. Now, what happens when a person downloads the app? Maybe immediately after downloading the app, they had some work and they had to rush. So they did not go ahead and complete the transaction. Maybe they are exploring other apps right now. The mobile app engagement campaign allows you to bring people back onto your app by triggering certain messages which are very specific to what they're doing. So let's say that you are selling various kind of products on your website, and the person is reviewing a particular product on your website. If you feel that this person, if slightly probed, will come back and buy the product, you can use the mobile app engagement campaign and give them a deep link wherein on their mobile phone itself, they might see a certain update for downloading that product itself. and if they click on it, they'll come on that specific page as opposed to loading your app from scratch. So that's where your mobile app engagement campaigns come into the picture. All right. Next up is adding phone numbers to your ads. So I'm sure there are a couple of businesses online which prefer talking to their clients as opposed to having them show up on their website. So with that being said, you can also show phone numbers with your ads. It can either be in the form of call extensions, which basically means that a text ad will show, and along with that, your phone number shows. Apart from that, you can even have call-only campaigns, basically allowing your phone numbers in the ad text. And the best part about call-only campaigns is that they only show on a mobile device, and if people tap on it, it directly copies your number onto the dialing screen. A couple of things here. They work on a CPC basis, so you only pay if people click on it. And statistically, it's proven to increase the CTR of campaigns by around 6 to 8%. So for those of you out there who are trying to repair the CTR or trying to ensure that people give you phone calls, try using the call extensions or call-only campaigns. All right. Next up is a very important topic, which is dynamic search ads. Now, let's say that you have a very rich website in terms of the amount of content that you have and the amount of products and services that you're selling. Basically, what you can do is you can have something known as dynamic search ads. In this, what basically happens is Google's organic web crawling technology targets searches based on site content. So basically, you can create a campaign, tell the system which pages on your website to track or what sort of pages to for the website, for the AdWords account to pull up. You just have to give us 2 lines of text and the display URL. The rest of it will be done by the system itself. So system will, based on a query that happens in Google, system will explore your website, trigger a headline for you, trigger the landing page for you, and guide people on it. So not only will it save a lot of time, but it'll ensure the fact that all the information that you want to pull out is being displayed via Google's organic traffic resources versus and as well as the AdWords bit of things. All right. Now are your shopping campaigns and product listing ads. So many of you might have seen that when you do searches on Google for buying products, not just services, but buying products, you might have seen certain images on the right-hand side. They basically are referred to as your Google shopping ads or your product listing ads. Various benefits here. First of all, they get you more traffic because along with the ads, you're showing an image as well. So not only are people looking at the product, but also seeing how it basically looks like, which makes it easy to influence their buying behavior. It leads to better qualified leads because there's a higher chance of them buying it. It has broader presence, and of course, it has powerful reporting and competitive data as well. As far as where the ads appear, they will show on Google Shopping, which is available in certain countries. They'll show on Google Search, and of course, on certain Google Search partner websites also. As far as the costing of this campaign is concerned, it's auction-based, just like any other AdWords ads, and you pay on a cost per click basis, that is CPC. Here, if you see the screen right now, on the right-hand side is what a product listing ad looks like. As you can see here, it includes an image of the product so people can see what your product looks like, the title of the product, and the store or the business name, which is selling that particular product. The best part about them is that it helps, like I said, helps in improving traffic and delivered better quality leads, and also helps in improving targeting without the use of keywords. So if you're the kind of business where you have a lot of products to sell and you think that you can't come up with a lot of keywords, shopping ads or product listing ads is the way to go. Next up is enhancing ads with extensions. So we have looked at how you can use Google AdWords ads to spread your message across. Now let's look at the extensions possible. 2 things about extensions which really make them stand out. One is that they have improved visibility because whenever your extensions show, the ad looks slightly bigger, which basically will make the ad stand out. And of course, it'll result in a better return on investment as well, because chance of people clicking on the ads when the extension show is much, much higher. How basically do they work? AdWords show these extensions when they calculate the extension will improve performance. And now there are various extension types available to us, and we look at them one by one. First extension type is an app extension. So let's say that you're selling a product which is also being sold via an app. So along with the Google search ads, you can even have an app extension showing, which will allow people to download your app. You have a call extension. Basically, along with your ad, there will be a link to your phone number also. You have location extensions available. Basically, you can guide people to your physical store. You have review extensions. If you have received a lot of good reviews from people and you think it makes sense to have it show along with the ad, you can show them via the form of reviews. If you think that people can be led to certain strategic pages on a website or on those pages which offer more value, you can have your site links. If there's certain aspects about your business, or maybe there's a sale offer going on, which you think should be called out, you can have call out extensions. And finally, we have previous visits extensions also. If you're the kind of business where you feel that people will be visiting your website very often, you can have these extensions. There's an automated extension wherein people will see how many times have they come onto your website. And of course, if you think they don't make sense, you can also opt out of them. Now, another question here from Mr. Bharat again. It says, what is the character limit for headline text which is generated through dynamic search ads? Bharat, the character limit can be slightly more than 35 characters. It's not set always, because the system will scroll through your website and will accordingly decide on the headline to project. But rest assured, system will try to make the headline slightly longer and make it appear slightly bigger when your dynamic search ads show. Hope that answers your question. Moving forward to customizing ads. Now, another scenario here. Let's say that you're selling products and services whereby you're not really aware of how people will find you on Google. So there are two types of things which we can done. One is dynamic keyword insertion. Basically, if you look at the example here, we can substitute the headline with curly brackets and have the phrase keyword colon the name of the particular word, which would be put in the ad text if there's nothing to be replaced. So people are searching on Google with the word dark chocolate bar, and I have the keyword buy followed by the dynamic keyword insertion. It'll make it to buy dark chocolate. If people searching on Google with sugar-free chocolate, the ad will be replaced and the headline will read buy sugar-free chocolate. If the search query is gourmet chocolate truffles and it's slightly longer, then the system will put the word buy chocolate because it doesn't fit the phrase. Apart from that, we also have something known as ad customizers. So let's say, for instance, that there's an ongoing sale which is running for 7 days. And every day people search for the ad. You would like people to see that the ad says 7 days to go or 6 days to go, etc. That's where your ad customizers come into the picture. And accordingly, the ad will get customized. Moving further to understanding landing page experience. Now, when we talk about landing page experience, we are basically talking about how relevant is your landing page to the kind of keywords which triggered your ad and to the kind of ad which led people there in the first place. Try to ensure a couple of things. First of all, try to provide relevant, useful, and original content. When we say that, try to ensure that whatever the question is that a person asks on Google, or whatever product or services he's searching for in Google, they are available on the landing page. Try to promote transparency and trustworthiness. Try to ensure that people are reading the sort of content which will be promised and which will be provided by your product. Make it easy to navigate through your website. Sometimes what happens is we are selling a lot of products and maybe you're selling it at a price much cheaper than our competitors. But if the website can't be easily navigated, we might not be able to get an exact answer of what all is available on the website. So try to make it as navigation friendly as possible. And also, landing page experience also is a part of your quality score. So if you're trying to improve your quality score, try working on your landing page experience as well. Now let's move on to showing your ads and determining your bids. Okay, so first and foremost, we'll have a general understanding of the various keyword match types available to us. There are 4 match types, and then there is negative match. We'll look at the four match types first. One is broad match. Basically, this has no special symbols. The keyword is just written as it is. Now, how broad match works is it will trigger an ad for any query on Google, including the misspellings, synonyms, and related searches. So if my query on Google is women's hats, it can even trigger a result for a query like buy ladies hats online. Similarly, the word hats can also be replaced with the word caps. And people might also end up seeing ads for a query like caps for women. Similarly, we have broad match modifier, wherein we put a modifier or a plus sign before your keyword. So if my keyword is women's hats and I put a mathematical plus sign before the 2 words, the ads will only trigger on Google as long as the search queries have those 2 words in it. So if my query is, if my keyword is plus women's, plus hats, plus online, if I go to Google and type buy women's hats online, the ad will get triggered. But if I do a search with the word buy women's hats, the ad will not end up getting triggered. So try to ensure that your broad match modifier keywords don't have a lot of words which plus signs, have 2 or 3 odd words which plus signs before them, which are critical for your business. Third are your phrase match keywords. Basically, these keywords have those quotation marks next to them. Now, what this basically means is that Google will only trigger an ad if a query on Google is in the exact same sequence as your keywords are. So if my keyword is women's hats, it'll trigger my ad for any query on Google where the word women and the word hats are together. So if I go to Google and type buy women's hats online, the ad will get triggered. But if I go to Google and type buy hats for women, since the sequence of the two words is not the same, the ad will not end up getting triggered. Then we have your exact match keywords. As the word simply says, it will only trigger an ad if your query on Google is exactly what the keyword is. So for people who are selling products which has, let's say, product IDs or product names which are very, very specific, that's when you would go for exact match and phrase match keywords. But if you think that you're kind of a business wherein people can find you in via multiple ways and there are various searches on Google which can trigger your ad, that's where your broad match and broad match modifiers would come in. Finally, we have negative match. So just like we have certain keywords for which we would like the ads to be shown, there are certain keywords for which we would not like the ads to show at all, which is where your negative keywords come in. So if there are, let's say, any products that you're selling which have close competitors and which are selling very competitive complementary products, you can have your negative keywords in there. Moving on to language and geographic targeting. So language targeting simply means the languages of the website where people are eligible to see your ads. And as far as geographic targeting is concerned, it basically refers to people in which areas or which parts of the world can see your ads. So usually try to ensure the fact that you're only targeting those areas where you can actually sell or market your products. And then you can probably, based on your returns from Google AdWords and other resources, decide to further prolong and target more areas. Next up are your bidding types. Now there are 3 bidding types in Google AdWords. One is CPC bidding, which is cost per click. Basically, you only pay when people click on a Google AdWords ad. Then is CPA bidding, or cost per acquisition, basically meaning that you will only end up paying based on when you've gotten a conversion. Finally, we have flexible bidding. There are various flexible bidding strategies, like in the form of target return on ad spend, where you tell the system how much of returns would you like to get for a certain amount of money spent. Maximize clicks, which basically means what is the maximum amount you're willing to pay. Maximize clicks basically means the system trying to get you as many clicks as possible within a budget and a bid limit. And then we have target search page location also, wherein the system tries to get your ads to show on the top of the page as much as possible. Here's a small look at them again. We have enhanced CPC, which is the enhanced cost per click, basically based on your conversion tracking data. System will try to get you as many clicks as possible. Then we have target cost per acquisition. Basically, a system will set bids to help as many conversions as possible while reaching your average cost per acquisition goal. Then we have maximize clicks. As discussed, system will try to get you as many clicks as possible. Next up is target search page location, wherein system will try to get you to place your ad on the top of the page as often as possible. Then we have target return on ad spend, wherein you tell the system as to how much returns would you like to get for a certain sum of money. And then we have target outranking share, where basically you can tell the system that you would like to raise or lower bids to help ads outrank ads in another domain. Those were a couple of bid strategies we have for you. Now we'll move on to setting campaign level budgets. Now, a couple of important factors to be kept here in mind. As far as the campaign budget goes, try to look at it from the perspective of how much your competition is going to be, how much of market cap are you looking for. If you feel that in a day you need to target 50% of the audience and there is not much competition there, you can accordingly keep the budget slightly lower. If you feel that the competition is really, really high and you need to have a market cap of, let's say, around 10 to 20%, you can accordingly adjust your budget. A best practice here would be to start the AdWords account or start a campaign with a set budget in mind. Let that budget run for about a span of 2 to 3 odd weeks and then see whether you need to increase your budget or decrease your budget. Next up is your delivery method. So in Google AdWords, we can decide to either spend our money evenly, which basically means in a span of 24 hours, system will decide to spend money equally in every single hour. Or we can have accelerated delivery, wherein system will try to spend your money as soon as possible in the initial part of the day itself. Then we have ad scheduling and rotation. So if you're using a Google AdWords campaign in advanced features, you can then basically decide whether you want to run your ads 24/7, or if you think ads need to run only on certain times of the day or on certain days of the week. That's basically where ad scheduling comes in. Next up is ad rotation. Basically, you can decide to rotate your ads evenly, wherein system will, let's say you create an AdWords account campaign today and you run it for the next 1 month. System will, if you're getting around 1,000 impressions, system will try to distribute those 1,000 impressions equally across all your ads. But if you feel that maybe the ads which have a slightly better chance of getting you conversions If those ads need to show more, then you can accordingly set your ad rotation as well. So basically, in the campaign settings, you get to decide a lot of things about your AdWords campaign, and which will accordingly result in the ad functioning for you. Okay, now let's look at the management options in terms of URLs. There is a display URL which people see along with the Google AdWords ad, and then there is a landing page URL. Basically, if people were to click on your AdWords ad and come to a specific page. Then we have conversion tracking. Basically, system will track for you the number of conversions happening or the number of desirable actions people are taking once they are coming onto your Google AdWords ad. We have remarketing as well. Basically, if certain people have come onto your website before, and if you think you need to remarket certain ads to them, or you need to remind them that they came to your website in the first place, that's where remarketing campaigns come in. Three very efficient tools for you. First is AdWords scripts. So if you're the kind of business wherein you're managing multiple campaigns in an AdWords account, or you're handling multiple clients in one AdWords account, you can run certain AdWords scripts wherein you can decide yourself to create a script which will perform bulk operations for you. We have AdWords editor as a tool as well. You can download this tool, which basically helps you in making bulk changes to an AdWords account, uploading them as well. Finally, we have the AdWords API as well, which will let our developers build applications that interact directly with the AdWords server. So three very important tools out here, specifically people who are performing bulk operations in one go. Now let's look at certain account optimization tools. First up is the keyword planner. So if you're the kind of business wherein you're trying to figure out the impact of every keyword, how many search queries will it get, or if you're just trying to get keywords for your AdWords campaigns, you can come to the keyword planner tool. We have the AdWords bid simulator as well, which will basically tell you the impact in terms of clicks, impressions, and conversions if you were to increase or decrease your CPC. Finally, we have the opportunities tab as well, which will keep telling you whether you need to add certain keywords, whether the bids need to be increased or decreased, whether the extensions need to increase or decrease, etc. So the AdWords system in itself will always be giving you a lot of options to pick from. It's our duty to ensure that we are making the best of the system knowledge and our personal knowledge in running an AdWords account. Finally, let's move on to measuring performance and optimizing the account. Now, the very first thing we'll see here is the report editor. So all of you might have seen change in the AdWords account, not very recently, but you would have seen a reports column in the account wherein you can create certain reports. It has a very simple drag to drop interface wherein you can create multiple segments. You can create custom charts and do advanced filtering to generate certain reports for you and get an understanding of how the AdWords account is running. Apart from that, there are certain general statistics which we always refer to. These are your clicks, your impressions, your CTR, your average position of the ads, the return on investment, and your conversions. One very important tip, always keep monitoring your search network campaign. Not just your search network campaign, but your display network and other campaigns as well. There's a very important tab in your campaign, which is the segment tab, which will allow users to segment information based on the time at which people are seeing the ads, based on what time of the day people are seeing the ads, etc. So if you have an AdWords account running right now and you're trying to optimize and try to put your ads in front of people when there is a maximum chance of them looking at it, feel free to go to the Dimensions tab and look for insights from there. Some more things which we can do. We can always try to ensure that we are creating ads which give out the exact meaning of the products that we're selling. Try to have at least 2 ads per ad group because it allows us to be creative and it allows us to test as to what kind of an ad text will really get people to click on the ad. Align keywords with your business goals. Try ensuring that any keyword present in your AdWords account is relevant to your business model. Bid like a pro. Basically, you can either look at the insights from the various bid estimation tools, or you can use our bid strategies. And finally, you can experiment with our campaigns. Which brings us to a very important concept known as campaign experiments. So let's look at an example here. Let's say that you had two exactly similar keywords leading to exactly similar ads, but both these ads led to 2 very different landing pages. Now, if you would like to check as to which landing page will be more insightful for you or which landing page will get you more conversions, that's where campaign experiments come in. Basically, campaign experiments allow you to create 2 separate groups and you get to test out the impact or the conversions, clicks, impressions for every single landing page that you create. This is just one of the examples, but campaign experiments will let you gauge of how things will work and what to stick with in the long run. If you're the kind of business wherein you're trying to test out your keywords, you're trying to test out your bids, Maybe you're trying to test out your ad headlines. You can do that via the campaign experiments. Few exam logistics and resources for you. The exam will be 120 minutes in length, and there'll be 98 questions to answer. The passing percentage is 80%, but we're sure you'll be able to crack it. And finally, the exam is valid for 12 months. Feel free to refer to our AdWords Help Center and refer to our search study guide for any further questions. Thank you so much for being here, and wish you all the very best. Thank you.